Coach, it is a building that has seen it all through the many years of its existence as EA Sports welcomes you to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Washington Redskins and the Oakland Raiders. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
To throw on second down, Thurston. That's complete to the former Aggie Jay Sternberger. That one a first down pickup of 8. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
So from the 36 now, first and 10. They run it with Carson. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with 2nd and a yard. This is Carson. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving. Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important 3rd down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He's had a fantastic rookie season, made a lot of lovely throws, but that wasn't one of them.
Well, we got to give him one, don't we? I mean, with the year he's having, a lot easier for he and his teammates to accept that throw because for the most part, what they've seen, it's been pretty sensational.
They'll run it now out of the gun. They'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. Give the Redskins 13 there and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
A good convergence there defensively, only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Raider territory.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
Let's go now.
Here's Bryce Love, played collegiately at nearby Stanford. Weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Washington. Washington. Bryce Love, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Well, they were just hoping that run would pick up the first. They got the whole enchilada.
And I'm so used to teams on third down, doesn't matter how far they need for a first down, throwing the ball. Instead, they run it, and as you said, pick up the first down, and then some, and then some. In fact, everything, all the way for a touchdown. Terrific play.
So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Not today, Ron. Not today.
To throw again. Thurston. He rifles one that's intercepted. Reuben Foster picks it. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. Second interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on, his teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you. You got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up 2nd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Off the play fake. Here's Haskins. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try to apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. Good opening quarter for him. Remember, he had the sack earlier. Now a tackle for loss, another tackle for loss.
He's really making it tough on the play caller, though, isn't he? Because it's one thing to try and adjust when a guy is disrupting your running game. But when he's messing up your passing game as well, they may have to devote at least a second guy to him to try and keep him away from their plays.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. He didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this, you have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7.
You better be afraid of me.
Here's a 2nd and 7. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 6-0 our score after 1. Third down, it's Carson. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Go! And we got Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Stay with your man.
Throwing on first down, Thurston. Playing time to his left. And he's going to keep it here. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Here's 2nd and 8. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Here's Carson. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position, you have to be. You just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball.
It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
This will be caught by Brown. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. But down here near the goal line, you don't think of a cornerback in run coverage, but he made the stop.
Yeah, most of the cornerbacks we know, they want to be those pass defenders and take away one half of the field. But the best ones in the game are the complete cornerbacks, able to tackle and run support, as we just saw there.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Defense. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, Thurston. And this is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Jay Sternberger, his 4th touchdown on the year, as his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 12 yards is the pickup, and it's good for a Washington first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From midfield now, Haskins. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
The last play on the completion got them half of what they needed. Now here's a tough 3rd and 5. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. 2nd and 3. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense, and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs, and that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And the Raiders call on a nickel set here for 3rd down. Going to give this time to the tailback. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. Calling a loss of 2 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. The Redskins send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. 45 yards. That's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play, that's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works.
Switch gears.
Now a handoff looking right. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
And he'll give it here to his running back. 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard, inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. And they'll go on the ground. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Good coverage there by Trayvon Mullen.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right. They have had no room to breathe. Now Haskins, 3rd and long. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Antonio Brown with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And that is obviously the danger, Charles, of a long field goal attempt.
And what teams are doing now is not just putting their field goal block unit on. They may change it out and go punt return because you have better guys on the field who are able to stay on their feet and block in case that kick is missed. And that's what we saw there, the big return after the long missed field goal.
And after the touchdown, here's Myers to boot it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
From the 30 on second down, Haskins. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 22 yards there, a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Haskins now, 5 straight completions here in this second half, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a first down for the Redskins on a pickup of 11. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And tough sledding. He'll get maybe a yard. Stop short of the 35.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Haskins into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen, and he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Montez Sweat. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Looking to throw. Thurston is going to float this one deep right side. Picked off around the 27. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Certainly not what he was hoping for, Charles. That's now 3 interceptions in this ball game.
But there's a lot of knowledge to be gleaned every time you throw an interception if you do things the right way. And hasn't there been a pretty darn good quarterback along the way who threw a lot of interceptions early, learned from them, and became great later?
Who would that be?
That'd be one Peyton Manning. Threw 28 his rookie year. That's the NFL record. How'd things turn out for him?
I think okay. He's a guy in all the commercials now.
Yeah, I think he's doing okay.
Flush to his right. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. On play action, Haskins. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started.
Let's get off the field, D. Let's get off.
They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like...
And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. Well, you just kind of feel for him right now. 4 interceptions, and you can almost see through his face mask. There's a lot going on in between the ears.
There certainly is, and probably way too much, because now he's probably doubting himself a little bit, wondering what adjustments he has to make. But here's what he needs to do. Get through this game, go to the press conference, meet it head on, and show your teammates you're ready to shoulder what happened today, and you'll be ready for the next game.
And if he can do that as a rookie, that's a great sign of maturity. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Switch it, clear, switch it.
2nd and 10. Here's Haskins again. Looking for McLaurin, and he's got him. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 3-yard line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season, as they now sit just a 2-point conversion away from tying this game up in the 4th quarter. All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Check me out. Watch the safety creep. Check 43.
They're going to try and run for it. And he will get into the end zone for 2. And this game now tied here in the 4th. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
The Raiders take over
Let's go,
first and
boys.
10
Bring it up.
at their own 25-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. They start from scratch here, so to speak. 14 all following the interception last time that led to a score. Now they've got it 1st and 10. The run there on 1st down, going to get him 5 up to the 30. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Give him a 1st down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Couple of very nice carries to start this drive out.
Yeah, 2 first downs. And how about that second one? What a nice run on that particular play. I'm telling you, they're going to start to think that this game is easy if they continue to rip off yardage like this.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. A 1st down run, good for about 3. 2nd and 7 coming up. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to float this one deep right side. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
To throw on 3rd down, Thurston. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down.
Sets up 4th down.
Here's the Raiders punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the 7-yard line.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And they work this out past the 25. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his own line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
From the 31, Haskins under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Getting down to the good stuff, all tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
54, right there, 54, Mike. Mike 5-4, Mike 5.
3rd down, here's Haskins. And he's got his man on the out route. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give the Redskins 13 there on a 1st down.
Redskin 1st down.
Haskins now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Here we go with Haskins. Field here. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. In a tie game, 4th quarter, that's about as big of a defensive play as you can possibly make.
And it didn't happen by accident. That was scouting right there. They've seen things that have happened before. They knew in certain situations the type of plays they like to run, read it, and were able to go after the football, get it, and take it into the end zone for a touchdown for themselves.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And a couple yards deep, he'll go to a knee. He won't return it. And they'll take it out to the 25. Out there ready for this next drive, the Redskins offense. Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. He finds an opening past the 40. Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. This to McLaurin out on the left side. The Redskins now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Haskins now 10 of 17 throwing the ball. He's got a 1st and 10.
Watch twist. 52's like the moment. 52's the mic.
Now it's Haskins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now Washington going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
Right there. 54, right there.
He's back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Well, you can see what they were trying to do, just send those guys out there to make a play, but that is a costly interception.
Yeah, that's kind of like the backyard. Everybody go deep, and let's see if we can find someone. 4 verticals in the route. Any other time of the game, I love the call. But here, you're not going to hold safeties, you're not going to hold corners with any looks because they know what the situation is, ends up throwing the interception.
2nd and 11 at the 36-yard line.
Here we go. Edwin. Mike, number 53. Mike, 53. Let's go, baby. Return over. Get the take over.
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
Oh, without question. When you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Raiders,